Hello, Bettina here again. So today's video is for you if you're feeling a little bit lost, maybe overwhelmed, anxious, feeling like everything is just too much. And I think this happens for any number of reasons. Just generally, life with little kids can become like that at times. For me, recently, it's been because I feel like we've had blow after blow after blow. So it's been a year, we've lost 3 babies. My grandfather passed away, we lost a family friend. My mum's been sick. I feel like I just have not had a break. And it's hard not to spiral downwards when that sort of stuff happens. And it could be totally different what's happening in your world, but I think the feelings are the same. We feel like incredibly sad that we can't see a way out. We can't see how we're ever going to feel good again. We start to question everything in our lives. So you start looking at everything that is in your life and start questioning, is this right? Maybe this is why I'm so unhappy. And I think it's just like this downward tumble into darkness. So I guess today I want to talk about what can you do if you're there? Because I've been doing a lot of Googling. I know I said I need to stay away from the internet, but different sort of Googling. Now I'm kind of looking for answers to like how to get back into that happy place that I've always feel like I've kind of naturally been in, like I'm a mostly optimistic sort of person. Anyway, so my Googling efforts haven't really helped all that much. I feel like so much of the internet is just like vague how-to articles, 5 steps to happiness. And it's like, none of that helps me. None of that helps me when I'm like on the floor bawling and feel like nothing in my life is working. So, what has been helping? Big one is actually looking after my body. So when I'm in this kind of hole, I typically don't really eat very well, drink lots of coffee, enjoy a wine to unwind at night, don't sleep well, and it's just a part of that spiral downwards. And I know it gets worse because my coping is lower, my ability to cope is lower when I'm tired. So the next day, if I'm like not giving my body what it needs, I'm going to feel shit the next day and everything feels unmanageable. So it's the last thing you want to do at this place, but I feel like it has to be the number one thing you do. Drink enough water. You know what the right things to eat are. For me, it's been like lots of green stuff because I know my iron levels, which again, making me more tired, are really low after losing a lot of blood. And getting enough sleep, which has been difficult because it's hard to turn my mind off, and I find that the quiet of going to bed at the minute is when I lose it. But if I'm smart about it, I can manage that. So I need to make sure that I've done some sort of physical movement in the day so that my body is tired enough to drag my mind into sleep. And I don't go to bed right when the boys go because I know that I'm not going to get to sleep straight away, and usually I just kind of work myself up into a frenzy and then it takes forever to get to sleep. So I make sure I'm tired enough, I'm doing things to unwind, so reading because it makes my eyes tired and it puts me to sleep. At one point I was having a glass of wine at night, but in all honesty it wasn't the best way to make sure I was getting a good sleep. So I'm trying to calm down on the wine a little bit. So drinking lots of water, eating good food, getting some movement happening, because otherwise you kind of just feel like sloth. And you get no reprieve from what goes on in your mind. Whereas if you move and get active, I feel like if you challenge yourself enough, you can get out of your head and stop thinking about everything that's overwhelming you. And of course, getting enough sleep, which they all kind of go together. So looking after the body has been number one. Trying not to disconnect. It's easy to stay at home these days. It's easy when you're feeling overwhelmed to just avoid the world and not want to talk about it and just kind of hide in your own little shell. But then the thoughts just ping around in your mind and you only get your own feedback back. If you can kind of reach out to someone and say, this is how I'm feeling, you often get this fresh perspective from, well, they might have an idea for something you can do, or they just kind of give you that little ego boost to feel a little bit better about the situation or something like that. So don't hide in your hole. Try and reach out. It's been a difficult one for me because I have been wanting to hide recently, but I'm slowly starting to recreate opportunities for social things and trying not to avoid the ones that are already planned. And my final thing is try and get off social media as much as possible and connect with someone in person, whether that's giving your kids a cuddle, whether it's holding your partner's hand. I feel like as much as I love social media and it's allowing me to connect with you now, I know for me, if I am feeling really overwhelmed and it's all too much and I'm feeling really shit about myself, going on social media does the opposite of helping. It just sucks me into this hole where everyone else's life is perfect and mine is shit, and there are all these things I need to do to make my life better, but I can't even get off the couch. So my final tip is, get off social media, put the phone down, turn it off if you can, have a dinner with your family, meet a girlfriend, whatever it is, just connect with someone in real life and give yourself that time and space to kind of just quieten down. Like, so much of our lives is piled on us from all this technology that keeps us kind of falsely connected. We're not really connecting on any heart-centered level. I don't know if that makes sense, but it can kind of feel quite false. And I think you need to get out of that and feel like you have a real honest connection, face to face, with someone you know who loves you and has your best interest at heart. So I hope that helps you today. We're going into this issue of overwhelm and dealing with all the competing demands in our lives in my course 5, if you would like to join us. For me personally, this round, I believe, is going to be quite healing. As much as we connect on social media in the Facebook group, it's really an honest connection right from the start. No one's pretending or putting up a false face. Everyone really quite quickly gets down to the nitty-gritty of, I am struggling with, and that's a really powerful place to come from. So I hope that you can join us. I hope that these tips help you. Sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day, and namaste.